Citrix control panel. If you have questions or would like to pose some questions to the speakers as we go through the program, if you look at the toolbar down at the bottom, you'll see an area for questions and or chat. Feel free to ask any questions in there, type them in, and then we will respond at the end of the presentation by asking the questions to the panelists, and then you can hear their responses. Our agenda today will feature 3 presentations. Hot topic, PowerCube DaaS by DSL. News from NJTC member companies. Product presentation from Emergency Medicine Business Intelligence. A second product presentation from SandPulse Technologies. Both of these presentations are finalists from our recent innovation competition. Actually, for that competition, DSL was the winner in the information technology area. The presentation they are doing is not the presentation that was in the innovation competition, but we think it's certainly valid. And then finally, we'll have announce some new NJTC information technology members and include a new member profile by Data Core Systems. And then a final section for you if you have any questions. First off, some upcoming NJTC events. And here to talk about our January 20th software forum is Leo Menet. Leo?
Thank you, Paul. Yes, on January 20th, we're having at Lowenstein and Sandler, which is in Roseland, New Jersey, our software forum. And this is a session that's going to open with a panel presentation discussing the issues and trends in application development, licensing issues, sales forecasting, and revenue recognition. And then immediately following that, we're going to have breakout sessions. And the sessions are designed to give software vendors, and right now we have representatives from Oracle and Microsoft scheduled to present their toolkit. And this will be for our small and medium software developers and IT service providers. It's going to be an interactive learn and use environment. And of course, njtc.org is where you register to attend.
Thank you, Leo. Then on January 28th, we'll be hosting our Capital Conference. This is an annual event at the Westin Princeton from 8:30 to 2:30 p.m. Basically, the theme of the conference will be Great Things Are Happening, Business is Getting Done Again. It's an annual event for anyone who's interested in doing business and learning about how to obtain financing in the coming year. Peter Latman, author of Deal Book and a columnist for the New York Times, is the featured speaker. The breakfast panel will also discuss 2011 financial predictions. The panel will feature Mark Kaysen, who's president of the NVCA, and the lunch panel will feature CEO success stories. Concurrent panel discussions include meeting investor expectations, lessons learned, how much money should a company raise, and dual tracks issues surrounding a company pursuing a sale and raising capital at the same time as a result of an IPO. And then on February 3rd, we'll be doing our Mid-Atlantic Life Science Research Symposium, and that will be at Kane University. We'll have several presentations of new and exciting medical research taking place, as well as a panel discussion focusing on advances in progress in biotech, pharmaceutical, and medical device research, and also results from our annual life science industry forecast. So as Leo mentioned, all these events are on our website at njtc.org, and we've also got a number of other additional events coming up in 2011 on our website as well, so please feel free to check it out. Also, before I forget, check out our new website, which is njtc.tv, where you can see actual videos from our member companies. And if you have any videos that you'd like to submit to njtc.tv, just send me the embedded code and we'll get them up in the next round of submissions that we put on that. Okay, moving forward, we now have Naidu Gandham, who is the senior architect at DSL, speaking on PowerCube DaaS. Are you there, Naidu?
Yes, I'm here, Paul. Thank you.
Okay, if you could speak a little louder, that would help.
Okay, thanks. Is this better?
Okay, just let us know when you want to move the slide.
Okay, go ahead with the first slide, please. Good afternoon, everybody. Just wanted to say thanks to NJTC for this forum. I'm Naidu Gandham, a senior architect at ZSL. I work in their enterprise infrastructure practice and also part of the R&D lab here, which we call Idea Lab. Next slide. Just a couple of words about ZSL. Company's been around for about 15 years, headquartered in Edison, New Jersey. We have presence in North America, Europe, Asia, and in particular in India. And we have R&D centers in the US, Canada, and also in India. Next slide, please. Also wanted to mention that we have a total employee count of more than 3,000 now. So, we are able to provide solutions to all different sizes of businesses. So I just wanted to present some ideas of what's going on with everybody's desktops. IT departments have seen a lot of disruption and also a lot of new ideas to do their departmental IT by server virtualization. And also we are seeing an increasing acceptance of smartphones and tablets that first started at the consumer level. Now they're slowly being accepted into business and corporate environments. And this, I think, is really going to shift how everybody accesses their desktop applications and their desktops themselves. Increasingly, desktops, we believe, are going to get centralized. They'll be running virtual desktops on servers which are in the data center, either within a company's premises, which would be a sort of a private cloud, or in a public cloud in a hosted kind of environment. What the user will have in front of them is a simple device like a thin client, or increasingly maybe even some device like an iPad or various other tablets that are coming out into the market now. And of course, Gartner expects this market to really explode in the coming few years, both in numbers of units deployed and the amount of money that will be spent in this area, in this whole arena of desktop virtualization and providing application virtualization. Next slide, please. So ZSL earlier this year came up with this solution that we call PowerCube DaaS, Desktop as a Service. It's a client computing service with the idea that the desktop itself is running on a server in the background in a data center with the display and the keyboard in front of and the mouse in front of the user, but the actual execution is going on in a server in the back end. To quickly go over the architecture, we have the hardware layer, and on top of that we have a system layer which either can be Linux or Windows. On top of that, there is a virtualization layer. We can use Windows Hyper-V or VMware from VMware, and also Verdi, which is also another hypervisor layer that is available. So on top of that layer is where the actual desktops run. They execute on the server, and the display is exported back to the device in front of the user. Next slide, please. So what are some of the things that we are planning to achieve with this solution? It really brings to the desktop paradigm whatever happened on the server. In the last few years, we've seen almost all physical servers now running in a virtualized world, which gives you, the IT departments, a lot of flexibility on how their server loads and applications are running. So we bring the same green IT and eco-friendly ideas to desktops. Right now, everybody has a desktop and they're all running all the time. The laptops are also spread out all over the place. IT organizations have no control over what data is available on laptops and how they are stored, how they are backed up, how the management of individual desktops is done is all going to get consolidated with a virtual desktop. And with the PowerCube DaaS, it enables us to sort of reuse and repurpose old PCs if you still have them. If you're planning to upgrade to Windows 7, you don't have to get new hardware. You can use your old PCs with a PowerCube client, and the server is running the Windows 7 in the background in a virtual desktop. And the other advantages are for in disaster recovery and business continuity. The IT department now has a good control of all the user data. Now they can apply uniform policies to back up the data, how to do disaster recovery and business continuity in case there is a problem with their office locations. One of the, PowerCube recently has gotten some awards and recognitions. We won the IBM CTO's award, and also it was the finalist at CompTIA's Pitch IT award ceremony. Next slide, please. I have some GUI administration screenshots. I don't know if you can see it, but on the left side, on the column, you can manage what are called the gold images. These are the administrative images that are published and made available to the users. So I can have, for example, a Windows 7 image, and I can have a Windows XP image, or I can have a Ubuntu Linux image. So depending on the user, I can make available any type of desktop to the user. If they're running an application that only runs in Windows XP, not been ported to Windows 7, I can make it available to them with an XP desktop. And I can also, if they are in an engineering department that uses Linux, I can make available a Linux desktop to them. And I also have the ability at the administrator GUI to check in and check out these images, to apply patches, to do virus prevention, to do all sorts of management, and to set up user profiles and that sort of thing. Next slide, please. And one more screenshot from the GUI administrator. Here I can apply based on the user. For user 1 and user 2 here, I've given them the Windows 7 desktop, and for user 3, I've given them a Unix, a Linux desktop. So I can manage my users here, and I can assign them the desktop that is appropriate for their job function. And also, it is possible to give them more than one desktop to a particular user. So when they start up the client, they can choose, today I want to use the XP desktop or a Linux desktop, depending on the job function. Next slide, please. Paul, next slide. Okay, it hasn't updated on my screen, so it's okay. Can you go back? Yeah, can you go back one step?
Sure.
Yeah, thanks. Now I see it. Okay. So these are some of the desktops that you can see. This is actual screenshot from a virtual desktop. You'll notice that the top one is a Windows 7 desktop. Looks exactly like it would look on your a regular physical desktop in front of you. It has all the audio back to your device, whatever you have in front of you, either a thin client or or even a tablet in front of you. And the bottom one is a Linux desktop from Ubuntu. So I just wanted to give you a couple of screenshots. So it looks, very similar to what you would get from a regular desktop in front of you, but even though it's executing back in the on the server side. Next slide. So in the PowerCube solution, we have some predefined options so that users and customers can choose from these deployment options. We started with a basic pack, which is a browser with some Office applications. We do that both for the Linux and Windows offerings. Then the next step up is an advanced pack, which provides some storage and includes automated backup of all the storage. And the premium pack steps that up by providing Lotus Notes and Symfony, both from IBM for the Linux desktop. And for the Windows 7, the premium pack provides Office 2010 Professional and all the applications that come with it. And these can be deployed either in your data center as a private cloud, or we can host it as a service in the public cloud, and then it's managed and served to the customers as a service. Next slide, please. And we also offer what we call the custom pack, where you have a complete choice of operating systems, applications, and any other integration and design that you would require on your desktops. We can provide those services and work with you to integrate these desktops into your business continuity plans and disaster recovery solutions, and make sure that the IT policies would match whatever your deployment model is. Next slide, please. So the service would also include complete support and maintenance for the desktop. So it would, what would normally happen with a regular desktop, a physical desktop, would, these are the kind of services we would provide for your virtual desktops as well. Things like antivirus management, patch management as new patches come from Windows, from Microsoft for Windows, keeping the images clean, cleaning out, temporary files, rolling out service pack, those sorts of things. And of course, they also are backed up with complete help desk services where users can call in for support. We provide either 9 to 5 sort of support or a 24/7 support. The whole idea is to provide anytime, anywhere kind of desktop. So if you're on the road traveling, you can connect back to your desktop in your main office and get the same applications and the interface that you would get when you're in the office, or if you're working from home, for example. That's also an option. Next slide, please. So to summarize some of the key benefits, enormous cost savings for when you're standardizing your desktops onto a server kind of environment where everybody gets a standardized desktop with the option of customizing by the job role that the user is likely to use. For example, if it's a call center, we can have simple desktops that every time they come in, they'll get the same exact screens. Or for a knowledge worker, we would provide customized applications so that the desktop suits their work. And for, if they need to customize it, they can customize it to just like they would do a regular desktop. And for the IT department, this consolidation and virtualization provides savings in, the desktops are only running in the server only when the user is using them. So when they go them, the session is suspended, and then it's not running, it's not consuming resources. That's a huge improvement of over laptops and desktops running all the time. The other thing is universal availability and what we call reachability, that this desktop is available to you wherever you are and however you want to reach it. And of course, ZSL provides a full menu of services around the PowerCube DaaS solution, like TCO analysis, cloud and SOA and BPM enablements. And also for migrating your applications, if you have an application that you want to make sure it runs properly on a virtual desktop, we will help migrate that for you and implement that. And of course for remote management. And we offer both pilot and proofs of concepts kind of deployments if you're interested in that sort of thing. Next slide, please. So some contact information, and if you have any questions for me, Paul, on the conference call.
Not yet, but again, I did send out a message. If anyone does want to do some questions, please put them on either the chatter or the question portion of your Citrix toolbar. And if we do get them in, we'll ask them at the end of the session.